let's go to, oh, this is funny. You remember Dave Brat? Dave Brat was the Tea Party guy who took out Cantor. I can't even remember his name. Eric Cantor. Eric Cantor was the whip. It was, some people have compared essentially what AOC did to Crowley with what happened with Cantor and Brat in Virginia. And the difference is I think AOC is going to have some durability, right? And I don't think you're going to see 2 or 4 years from now a Republican beating her in a congressional election. Dave Brat, not quite as politically adept, it seems to me. Here is Dave Brat attempting let's first do, let's do that one first. Here's Dave Brat trying to reach out. Virginia, one of those states, and there's a lot of states, but Virginia is one of those states that's been hit hard by the opioid addiction problem. And here's Dave Brat trying to make it seem like he can empathize with this and understands that it's a problem and that a lot of these people probably, were just hit with a tsunami. And here he is trying to show that he's got empathy. We don't have video of this, right? It's just audio.
Just audio, yeah.
Okay, so Dave Brat talking to an inmate at Chesterfield County Jail. This is part of an addiction support group. And here he is, the inmate's describing some of the difficulties that he's faced.
My daughter, you think you're having a hard time. I got $5 million worth of negative ads coming at me. I think I'm feeling, right? Nothing's easy for anybody. You think I'm a congressman, oh, life's easy. This guy's off having mistakes. Bull on me. Right? I wake up, I got a daughter. She's got to deal with that crap on the TV every day. Right, so it's tough. Anyone that thinks, no one out there's got some easy life, right? And you got it harder. I'm not dismissing that, right? You got some fears, real anxiety, coming up with a job and whatever. And what you got to find is a support system.
There you go. There is Dave. Can we listen to that again? Because this is pretty amazing. This is a guy who is there to show that he cares about this. And he is saying, you think because I'm a congressman, I'm going out having a bunch of steaks, which I would be willing to bet anything that, yes, he is going out and having a bunch of steaks. But even put that aside, like the idea is like, my daughter's got to look at these attack ads and you got anxiety, like worried about getting a job and stuff like that. What?
You have trouble because you've been criminalized for addiction? Well, you should try being a public figure.
Yeah, exactly. It's as if poor Dave Brat, right? This is how Eric Cantor lost his primary. He was like so stuck in Washington. Here, let's play this again. This is Dave Brat talking to an inmate.
My daughter, you think you're having a hard time. I got $5 million worth of negative ads coming at me.
Pause it. Did you hear what he said? I missed this the first time.
He said you have a hard time.
No, he said, my daughter, you think you have a daughter. You have a hard time. Are you sure? Go back to the beginning.
My daughter, you think you're having a hard time. I got $5 million worth of negative ads coming at me. I think I'm feeling, right? Nothing's easy for anybody. You think I'm a congressman, oh, life's easy. This guy's off having mistakes. Bull on me. Right? I wake up, I got a daughter. She's got to deal with that crap on the TV every day. Right? So it's tough. Anyone that thinks, no one out there's got some easy life, right? And you got it harder. I'm not dismissing that, right? You got some fears, real anxiety, coming up with a job and whatever. And what you got to find is a support system.
Right. So instead of any help from the government, I'm here to tell you, you need to find a support system.
Are we sure that's not plagiarized from Tony Robbins?
That is just amazing. I just want to stop by, say hello, tell you I'm going to steal some cachet from you to show that I care. And that's it. As far as my care goes, it's just like, you need some help, bud. Trust me on this. You need some help.
How do you think my daughter feels when her black friends ask her why I'm suppressing votes?
I'm joking. My daughter isn't any black friends.
Yeah, the implication being, we've all got it tough, buddy. So just, buck up.
And the phrase "nobody has an easy life" is interesting in the time of our Gilded Age.
I was gonna say this is like people have imitated Trump on the campaign trail, but this is like a very subtle sort of take on it. Like, yeah, I've got it real rough. The way that Trump's,
doing deals is a burden.
I don't even have to do this. So what do you do if you're Dave Brat and you're running? You don't seem to have any political skills that translate to normal people, right? Like, I mean, if you're going and you're talking to someone who's suffering from opioid addiction and probably all the fallout that entails, and maybe all of the circumstances that happened into that moment. And you tell them, like, everybody's life is hard. For me, it's hard for my kid to see the attack ads against me, and I'm not having steak every night. And maybe you got to find a job and whatnot. Well, what do you do? If you've got nothing to offer except for support groups, you've got to try and demonize your opponent. And what is the way that Republicans demonize a person running for Congress? Well, it's, of course, you call them, you say they're Nancy Pelosi clones, because it reminds people that, hey, this woman is a woman, and that's bad. And comes from a place where there's a lot of gay people, and that's bad.
California.
Right. And that's what's behind this smear. So here is Dave Brat trying to call repeatedly calling his opponent. Her name is Abigail Spanberger. And this is, and she has a pretty good response. I don't know what's going to happen in this election, but Dave Brat seems to be outmatched.
Nancy Pelosi, the Nancy Pelosi liberal agenda. And if you look at blue states, can I finish the question? If you vote for Abigail Spanberger, the result will be Nancy Pelosi liberal policies across the board on every single issue.
I question again whether Congressman Brat knows which Democrat, in fact, he's running against. I am not Nancy Pelosi, and I am not President Barack Obama. I am a woman who grew up in Henrico County, who grew up in this community, who was taught service, hard work, and a commitment to the belief that the American people can be anything, and we will lead the way in this world. It is absolutely hypocritical that we would have someone stand on stage, talk about fiscal responsibility after adding $1.9 trillion to the deficit, after voting against hurricane relief, after voting against the omnibus bill, after voting against budget after budget because he didn't want to add to the deficit. However, when it came time to give $42 billion in tax breaks to pharmaceutical companies, there he was. I want to serve this community. It's the community that made me who I am, and I ask for your vote on November the 6th. Abigail Spanberger is my name.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, unless they had that debate in like a Democratic party headquarters, which I don't think they did, it didn't go so well for Dave Brat.
538 has it as a toss-up as well.
Yeah, right, I think he could be in some trouble.
I mean,
there.
His name's Dave Brat.
It didn't.
What more do we need, folks?
Tell it to.
That's the next ad, actually.
Cantor sounds like it sounds like it's close to canker, like canker sore. So
that's true.
This is how I predict politics.
Cantor,
you award who won. I mean, his people are always going to say that he won, and her people are always going to say that she won.
What's that in the debate?
Yeah.
In that exchange?
These people are deranged.
Well, yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, somebody else is going to be watching. It's not just. There's got to be some people who haven't made their mind up yet, or haven't decided to vote, and that could be it. All right, let's go to the phone.